sir. Now is the time for us to listen to a presenter straight from Nepal. We have Lion Sanjay Khetan with us. Lion Sanjay ji comes from Nepal. He is past international director, a leader of great stature. And Sanjay Khetan ji, who also is the advisor to the government of Nepal. It's a great privilege for all of us to invite Sanjay Khetan ji here. And I'm going to request Sanjay Khetan ji, please if you can start your...
Friends, good afternoon. I was listening PID Sunil Kumar, and I listened. A question came that how can we affect, or can we affect, the GDP of the country also? And there was very good answer from him. I will not go into the detail. He talked about the governance and few more things. But I am telling, we can affect the GDP of the meeting. Now the subject is the art of facilitation. Friend, there is a quotation, I seek a method by which I tell less and people understand more. This is something, is the connection between both. It helps to understand things within ourselves. Each one of us do facilitation individually when we talk, or the meetings when we attend. It's when we chair it, or at many other levels when we are part of a meeting. But somehow we practice many things which we may not have critically analyzed. Today, we will try to analyze the points of the meetings which will be required to have a good meeting. What is facilitation? It is like drawing every member to actively discuss. Friends, sometimes the discussions are within a limited members, but when you are doing a facilitation, you will involve possibly all members in a group which will consciously bring an actionable response from each participant for a good result. Next. Back, please. Back. It is the skill. What is facilitation? Facilitation is a skill of drawing every member to actively discuss and to bring actionable response. This we had. Next. Why am I unable to run this?
Sir, you continue, I will support you, sir.
But then I miss the point. I wait for you to, either you will do before or I will do after.
I understand. Yes.
Okay.
Sanjay ji, I have one suggestion. I think whenever you want Anand to change the slide, you can just on the screen, maybe you can just show him a sign or something which we both can understand, and he can change the slide on your instructions. Is that okay, Anand?
Okay. Friends, facilitator role is not to lead, but rather to be a guide. Now it is all out.
Sanjay ji, if you can just try clicking once, you may have the control.
Okay. Friends, we will summarize, as I mentioned you. We will have facilitator's role, then what the facilitator should do, and then we will have some of the tips, and we will summarize at the end of the session. In meanwhile, we will also cover some of the people who are not comfortable in the meeting, how to handle them. Your role and responsibilities as facilitator include maintaining focus. If a meeting is for a certain issue, it should not go out of track. It is your duty to keep the meeting into the track, enhancing the participation. As I mentioned earlier also, you need to encourage the members in the meeting to participate, learn, and contribute their views. Maintaining the environment. You need to have the positivity in the meeting and the safe environment of learning environment. As the moderators Rajesh ji and Anand ji are doing at present, they are moving away all the troubles which are being heckled, which are being here. Being neutral, friends, this is a very important thing. We need to be neutral, and usually we feel and we think that we will be neutral, and usually we are not neutral, and we sit in the meeting with preconceived notions. That sometimes creates problem for ourselves and the meeting also. Offering encouragement, it's our duty to encourage every participant in the meeting. Qualities of a great facilitator. Friends, while I will mention the qualities, you all know most of these qualities in a facilitator. But then we are today in this session re-emphasizing all the points which we need to inculcate in ourselves to be a great facilitator. We need to paraphrase or explain everything very much clearly so that each one understands it well. When I say, it should be to the mental level of the participant. Ensuring the content is relevant. You need to ensure the material which are being developed, such as, if I give an example, the subject chosen for today's presentation should be relevant. Is stressing the important points. Friends, sometimes we speak long and have long discussion, but we miss the points which are most important out of those discussion. Those gems are to be re-emphasized. Being enthusiastic and flexible. We need to be enthusiastic. There should be some info in the meeting which should be continued, and you may have different views, different conditions and situations. Just like I was not having my screen control, then we need to be flexible and moving with it. Enjoying facilitation. You should be enjoying your job. If it becomes a burden, then you cannot deliver. So whenever you are doing a facilitation, you should be enjoying whatsoever job you are doing, having thorough knowledge of the subject. If you don't know the subject, you cannot deliver. So you will have the questions which will be unexpected, and you should be able to handle such question, and that will happen only if you have the knowledge of the subject. You should command some order of respect, and then you should also give the same respect to the participant present there. There may be some criticism, and you should welcome and encourage constructive criticism in the classroom discussions also. As you are well prepared also, and you should be able to contain yourself and all the participants which will come in between the meetings within the time allocated in the meeting. I will go with the 6 rules which will help you to facilitate a meeting. Friend, a great listening is a great property. We are unable to listen, and we are very impatient to speak. So we need to develop a habit of a listener, and we need to value others views, and we should be able to communicate clearly, professionally, and often. When I say often, we should not overdo it. Delegate whenever you can. We should not keep everything in our hand. Whatsoever possible, whenever possible, we should be able to delegate it. Good performance are to be appreciated, and trust and respect are must for us. I mentioned earlier, we should develop the habit of listener, and we should encourage others to talk. Usually it happens other way around. We are ourselves talking sometime more, and we don't give the opportunity for others to talk. So it will not be helpful for a facilitator. I mentioned about listening habits. It's a must point. Right questions. Friends, as a facilitator, it is our duty to keep the meeting in track. Meeting might go outside the track, so we should put the right question. Right questions are a tool in your hand for keeping the meeting in track, to keeping the emotions of the speakers in track. Open-ended questions are important, that may have different answer. They describe, summarize, and explain them well. There is a quotation written there: knowledge is having the right answer, and intelligence is asking the right question. So right question is more important than right answer. As a facilitator, the question I told you is a great tool in your hand. You may have questions, expected or unexpected. You should be prepared for the both, and with your reflex action, you should be able to answer them in appropriate manner, politely, and digestible to all. When I say digestible, I mean that it should not hit on anybody sarcastically. So respond appropriately to questions and comments. When you respond, you should be having appropriate information and knowledge, so that whatsoever you are responding is correct to the subject. Response skills. The first point is paraphrasing. Explain them well so that everyone understands, everyone is able to appreciate it. And summarizing, you all know that when long things are said, summarize it in a manner that it is in the head of the everyone in the meeting. The last point is the KISS. That means keep it short and simple. So it is not long and not very complicated. Handling difficult persons. Friends, the points I mentioned earlier, you and I might have practiced in our life at all levels. But the problem starts when difficult persons are there. There are different kind of difficult persons in the meeting. And it's not that they should not be there. They should be there, they will be there. But it's important how you handle them, how you manage with them. So I have in my presentation devoted a lot of time for handling difficult persons. We will go through them. I will request each one of you who has given their time to be patient and give full of your mind, complete mind to each and every point of these difficult person session details. Heckler, friends, there will be hecklers in the meeting who will be sometime maybe abusive, sometime they may be speaking very hard, and sometime they may be very direct, and they may heckle you in the meeting. Important is that they are there, they will be there, they can be there. How to deal with heckler? First point is manage your own emotions. That means you should not be having preconceived notions. Your mind may say that make that person shut up, but that may not be the answer. You should not be judgmental to a person which you may be knowing before, may not be knowing the before. So you should be controlling your emotion while you deal such person. Friends, we are back and we were how to deal with hecklers. Believe me, no one in person has heckled here. It's a technical glitch as announced earlier by Rajesh. So it's important that sometime you get hecklers in your meeting and manage your own emotional state. I mentioned you earlier. You should not have preconceived notions and you should not be commenting on the individual. Let the heckler have their say. If you are with your emotions trying to stop the heckler from speaking, you are trying to reach the dead meat. Allow him to make his point. Use reflective listening before you respond. That means you are allowing him to put his point, and then you give your reflection in the form that you let him know what he mean to say, that you are listening him and you are able to understand his point. And if there is something which you need to respond, you need to respond also. So fourth point is respond. While you respond, address the whole mass, but have the eye connectivity with the heckler also and with the public also. But when you conclude your response, your eye connectivity should not be with the heckler. Otherwise, the heckler would like to talk with you more, and that may not be very good for us. So up till now, we have told, allow him to speak. Don't carry your emotion about him, and then give your response, telling him that you have said this, and if you need a reply, address all. I have written subsequent interruption, that is OAR. When I say subsequent interruption, it means that even after that, some people may continue and they are hard hecklers. So if he continue, make your observation that you have made your point. At all juncture of time, you need to be polite. You need to tell that his point has been taken, and then how it is affecting him. You need to tell that his talking in between is affecting your presentation. So how it is affecting has to be told, and then response. You can request him that please hold your questions and suggestions till last, while we will talk on them in the end. So this is OAR, observe, let them know how it affects you, and your response that please hold it up to the last, and we can talk on that, so that he is not continuing those heckling throughout the meeting. But supposing if the heckler is at the end and he doesn't stop there, then there is a last resort that you will have to ask with the public. And believe it, that most of people don't like heckling. So we'll have to ask the people, the public, that you want me to continue the presentation or him to speak on this particular subject. Public will be in your support, and then you need to move away from the hecklers. The last resort is not the one which you would like to do, but then this is the last resort. So these are the 6 points which you may heckle. There are some ramblers. Ramblers are those who want to go on to long drive without any reason. So you may be seeing people who are not very attacking on you, and we are not creating very much problem, but they speak too long without any reason. They just ramble on. I travel throughout the world, and now I have some ideas that some part of the world people are rambling more, some part of the world they are ramble less, but then there are people ramblers all over the world. Stop them before they get started. Sometimes you beforehand know that these are the ramblers, so you can stop them politely by saying something that we will cover later on, or your point is well taken, or something which stops them you can bring in, so that they don't start rambling. Keep them on track. This is very necessary. The rambler necessarily means that he goes out of track, and he doesn't know he is going out of track. So there are many ways to keep on track. You can interrupt in between. And third point, which I am taking questions, you can ask questions in between. Okay, about this particular subject, what is your view? He is speaking on the same subject, but he has gone out of the subject. So you can have specific questions which will stop him from rambling. Redirect and pre-inform. You can redirect means whenever he goes out, you can direct him to a particular point, again in the same manner as I mentioned earlier. Or pre-inform, you know the ramblers, so whenever you are doing a facilitation of a meeting, you may know, the rambler may know or may not know that he is a rambler. So you need to inform that you overemphasize or repeat few of the points, or you go out of the subject. So here you need to control. If you politely and friendly manner in person you have mentioned this to the rambler, he may control himself in the meeting. These are the few ways where a rambler has to be tackled. Obstinate. Stubborn or obstinate are those people who are not ready to change. They come with preconceived notion. Sometime and many times they think that they are the best people, so they would like to be like that. Here also, don't stroke their egos. I would suggest that start with something flattering, something buttering like, I have missed you, because these people come with lot of egos. A kind word, a good word is not a bad thing to keep your meeting in order. So these obstinate people will not be open to the views of the meeting. So they will be keeping their own view. Something to connect with them. You can talk with them in the beginning that we missed you in many of the meetings, and your contributions are always important, and your views were missed last time in that particular meeting. Your view was well taken, something like that, so that their egos are stroked, so that you value their opinion. Whenever they say, even if the view is not correct as per you, or sometimes they are even not understanding what they are suggesting, do respect their value. Never directly say that what type of view this is. So you may say that, okay, today your view of going to Italian pizzeria is very good, but nowadays, due to COVID-19, we should not go very far. So while you have not accepted going to Italian restaurant, you have directly not said what a wild view is this. So the value of their opinion. Don't tell they are wrong. This is something they would never accept. And if you tell them that they are wrong, and this your suggestion have this impact, many of the time the suggester doesn't know that the suggestion he is making, what impact it will have. So in those circumstances, you should not tell them that this is your suggestion is very wrong. So how the decision will benefit them? Please create some common ground of interest. So once they know that it is beneficial to them also, and you need to guide and show them what is their benefit or their group benefit or the organizational benefit behind it, they will be able to appreciate. So here we will tackle obstinate or stubborn. Friends, there are few mummies in the meeting also. They will not speak. They will keep quiet. They will not heckle you, but they are not contributing. So please don't take their silence as their acceptance or disagreement. Their silence may not mean anything other than they are not participating. Don't overdo the lead. Sometimes, in order to pull them, if we make some remarks, and the third point is sarcastic remarks that may go as sarcastic. So we need to be polite. We need to engage them on their interest topic. We need to give them their time to warm up so that they are well within the subject and they are well participating in the discussion. I will be moving a bit fast. Know it all. There are people who think that they know all. Be empathetic to them. Pick your own battle. You have to decide how you will treat with them. They may be different things. They may be different that you may ignore them, you may engage with them. It is your battle. So you will have to decide. Lead by example. Give examples. Be armed with your own facts. You need to be having facts. I went to one of the convention and one of the participants got up and said that the PDGs are not having the voting right by the decision of last board meeting. And I have here the copy of the decision, but that was not true. And then I have to give him the fact he was behaving as I know all, but then I have to tell that this was the meeting and I was present, and I confirm in the house that it's not, no voting right has been given. And while I said that, I didn't attack him and said that there may be some confusion to him with regard to any other discussion. Ask probing questions. Sometimes what happens is, I know everything, people don't know many things. So if you ask a few of the questions which are very pertaining to the subject, they may come to the point. They may not have the answer, or if they have the answer, those are appreciated. Take the person aside and offer constructive feedback on their behavior. So this will depend what type of relation you maintain to him, and you can try it privately to tell that person about his behavior very politely. Next. Conversationist. Those who are doing side conversation, or those who are not participating but having conversation. Move to epicenter. If you are moving in the meeting, you can move nearer to them. Ask for attention. You can tell that Sanjay Khaitan is making presentation and he need your attention, my friends. So that without taking them in between, you are asking for an attention. Call on one of the offenders out of 5, 6. You can name one of the person, my friend, I need you here, like that. But then it may have some reaction. Be ready for that. Direct but friendly. You should make ground rules before any meeting. So in any time those ground rules are required, you can tell that the ground 2 rule says that we will not talk within ourselves. If someone does, what should we do? Create a compelling focus. My friends, the interest in the meeting is the major point which will keep everything in order. So if the meeting is good, everything is good. Otherwise, things will go out of hand. I have mentioned about different type of people, how to handle them into the meeting. But while you conclude the meeting, you can practice personal, ask for personal experience, specific ideas, measurable, achievable, and realistic time-bound ideas. These you can take in the last of the meeting. Friends, some important tips while we have talked about the 6 golden rules for facilitation. We have talked about the different people. If the meeting everyone is good, it is easier to carry on. But then we have talked few of the things where we have different kind of people. The world is diversified, so it is assumed that we will get diversified people. I hope you might have got few of those points. For a facilitator, effective public speaking is important. If you are able to speak well and if you are able to deliver well, it will help you. Your self-management is important. While you are open to any ideas, while you are open to the goals, set goals, make plan, get work, stick to it, and reach to the goal. So this is the way you will rise up. Some basic premises of facilitation. The facilitator leads. The facilitator knowledgeable enough. Answer provider. Basically, when we say lead, we mean that he is actually not only the lead, but he is a guide. So he will guide you through the session, no matter how much you know. This photograph shows that you may have all the capabilities, but as a group, the group knows the better. The group performs the better. The group brings the result. So you should be open and you should be able to bring the best out of them. I would say as a facilitator, you should make judgment-free zone. You need not to be judgmental. When the new topic start, there are a lot of ideas will come, familiar ideas, opinions, and diverse thinking. It shows that how the meeting will go off. After that, the convergent will happen. The familiar and the diverse idea will converge to some decision point. There may be a in-between zone. It may look like this, but there may be an in-between zone, grown zone, which may be a bit painful, which may be a bit sounding, but then you need to convergent thinking. You need to reach the last. Friends, I will not take much of your time as we will have some questions. We will tackle different type of people in our life, in our meetings. I went to Alliance Club health camp. I was club secretary, and a young doctor was with me. I'm telling you an example of when I said heckler, I said rambler, I said know it all. There are people who are coming to you without any reason. I don't know what they have in my mind, their mind. So when I went to that health camp, the young doctor was with us, and I was sitting with the doctor, and the patient came, and doctor asked him, what is the trouble? And patient is saying that, what type of doctor you are? You are asking the disease from me. You check me and tell what is the trouble. And the doctor, this actually happened with me. And the doctor was seeing my face, and I replied to him that he will not check you from head to toe. You will have to tell your disease, and he will check the disease. Then he said that I have a pain in my tummy. So the doctor said to him that, do you eat more oil and pepper? The patient again replied, I only don't eat. Don't you also eat? And doctor was again seeing to my face. And then I politely said, actually, it is not his problem, doctor's problem. It is your problem. So your question applies to you only. So there are people who are there to heckle you. There are people who behave as if they know more. So they will talk anything. You politely have to go through it, handle it, no fighting with it, and that is in your life, in your meetings, and your leadership, wherever you are present. The art of facilitation is important, how you tackle the people in front of you, how you are prepared for meeting, and at last I will say prepared, flexible, energetic, humorous, clear and positive. Embrace mistakes, limitation, be sensitive, use a variety of techniques, methods, activities. Friends, I wish you a good luck for art of facilitation, and here I end my session, and I'm open to the questions to the best of my knowledge.
Thank you, PID Sanjay Khetan. The questions coming up are, when somebody always coming with his own idea and not cooperating to the group, how can you handle this situation?
This comes under the this comes under the under abstain, and when stubborn or something like that may happen, and he may come under the category of know it all also. So you need to listen his idea with open mind, connect with him before the meeting also. As you know that he always comes with a different idea and is not ready to listen others' idea. So create some connectivity with that person, and then listen his ideas, appreciate his idea. Otherwise, he will not listen to your views, and then tell him the views and the benefits it will bring for him and the organization. These type of people are hard to convince, but if you follow step by step, as I told in the beginning of in my presentation, believe it will bring the result.
Thank you. Most of the questions which you have already answered in tackling of the senior lions, so I'm not repeating that questions. The next one is, in dealing with the heckler, how much we need to control our emotions if that causes subsequent interruption to our respond to the meeting.
First, Ruchita, when we say you mentioned about the senior lions, I will mention one more point is that don't hit on their egos. Sometimes senior lions have lot of egos, so you will have to manage. And heckler also, we need to control our emotion. Our emotion can work as atom bomb. So when we give place to our emotion, whenever we react, we should not react on the individual. We should not react on the individual. Like Ruchita always speaks like that. Whenever, if sometime I mention in emotion, then I ruin the case. So we need to keep our emotion in our hand. We need to listen them. Then we need to, if we need to respond, I mentioned that respond with calm and with public, but do have eye contact with them. But at the end, do away with them, because otherwise they would love to play the game. Don't stop them, allow them to speak, and then handle them out. There is no other way. Don't be judgmental and don't take your emotions, not allow your emotions to come in between. You need to control them, because they want your emotions to come.
Agree. And this is so true, not only with lions but for any organization. It's very true that to tackle your superiors, you need to have control over your emotions. The next and the last question coming up is, some members have a habit of finding fault with everything and opposing for the sake of opposition. How do you handle them?
These are the people who come with they are not in the reasoning. They have no reason, but they come with the idea that they will oppose only. So stubborn, I will say. Again, don't go into argument with them. Forgive me for using word stupid. Don't be in argument with stupid, but because he will beat you in stupidity. If they are not having any particular idea, but for opposing only, they will oppose you. You will have to handle them into the meeting to go it through. You will have to see that they are not carrying your meeting away, or its motions, or its decisions. As I mentioned earlier, there are golden rule: be polite, be patient, and no argument with them. Sometime you will have to ignore. As I mentioned in one of the points, choose your own battle. Sometime you need to respond. That is the way they have to be handled. Rajesh, voice is not coming.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We have nearly addressed all kind of participants and subordinates and seniors at every level that we can have and how we can handle them. This is practical, absolutely practical, and this comes more by practice when we do this, and we can control our emotions and we can control the behavior of others as well when we control our own behavior. So, sir, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you. We are highly obliged. And yes, certain hitches were there for you also, but you also, as a senior LAN member, accepted the challenge and life goes on. It's like that. We all are committed, so we go on. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and congratulations to you, Ruchita, Anand, everyone in the team for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. All 13 of us together. Thank you very much.